Wig production.
Yo, what is up, guys? So I'm gonna drop in and do a little video, NIO versus Tesla, because I really like these charts. Tesla's been very good to me, and I like NIO because I feel like the EV sector, there's a lot of potential, especially for the lead names. I'm gonna point out why Tesla's a lead name and why I think NIO is an up and coming lead name in the EV sector. So I got here, it's mostly going to be a technical breakdown obviously, but I got some bullish catalysts for each company here. So for NIO, some bullish catalysts that I have researched upon are a Hong Kong uplisting. So obviously more buyers in Hong Kong are going to transfer, like as that market builds up, it'll transfer to the US as well. They're China's most promising EV company. I don't really believe there's a company in China that's trying to expand and deliver as many vehicles to like the regular population as quickly as NIO is doing. So that being said, like it's pretty important to keep up on that, right? If they're going to be a big leader in China, that's huge. Their expansion rate is going to be great. So that leads us into what they're going to potentially be doing in Europe. So they have plans to expand into Europe, and eventually, hopefully, they want to become one of Europe's leading EV car sellers, right? So these are all just a few things you want to pay attention to when you're investing, right, into these companies, I guess. Then again, I'm more of a technical guy. So as we get into this technical breakdown, I really like this NIO chart. If we look from a weekly perspective, we've gone pretty far up. So from, I guess, last year, May, up until the highs, it's a almost 2,000% trade if you caught your way all the way up and sold at the top. Now, that being said, what I see here is a nice big impulse wave up, 5 moves up, and we could break that down further into, a nice 1, pull back, 2, and then a 3 big move, 4 to create this triangle, and then we got that 5th wave up to $70. So we needed time to digest now, right? So we had that 1, 2, 3 correction, which turned out to be a longer duration of time throughout the beginning of this year. So pretty much all 2021 has been solid bear market for NIO, right? We topped out at $66.99 and we came as far back as $30, right? So it went down 50%, but what I'm starting to like to see is we could be seeing that next move up. We might see the next 5 wave impulse move to the upside that could bring us above previous all-time highs. So I got this level marked out because I really like how we held this zone. Like this is huge for me. Us holding this $30 range was solid. That shows that there's strength and we've got new support in this area. So that price it's safe to say for now, unless we weaken this demand zone, that this is our new demand, right? So if it does potentially come back further to $30, 34 range, it's likely going to be a place where we want to add. I like the longer the base it makes around that range, the larger the explosion is going to be, the larger their bounce is going to be out of that zone. Right now, this is a strong move, so I'm expecting there to be a pullback. Now, where could we potentially pull back to? So I got this marked out, right? We have this kind of channel going on. We could come back and test this channel, right? So as you could see, that's definitely in play. We have been playing in that range since the beginning of March, right? And as we break out, what we could be looking forward to see now is the back test of this range, and then we run. So keep that in mind, that could potentially be in play. Or what we could do is we look from the very bottom of this move, so $30.71, right? We drag it high and we use the Fibonacci retracement tool. So we mark from the low to the high of this impulse move, $30.71 to $48.37, and then it gives us levels of where we could potentially pull back to. So what I'm looking for at NIO right now, when I go to the 1 hour time frame, right, we zoom in a bit and we could start to see we have like a head and shoulders pattern shaping up. So we could potentially see a pullback in NIO, which is great. If you're a holder long term, you're probably I'm looking to gather as many shares as I possibly can before it makes its move past whatever 50 or 100, or if you're really long term, you want to gather as much shares as cheap as possible. So this is what I am looking at on NIO. On an hourly time frame, it looks like we're about to potentially break this head and shoulders little pattern here. That would lead us to come back down to either the 0.382, which is around $41, and then I like the golden pocket as our last straw here. That would be a solid place to, if it comes down there, to add shares. We have made that. It could be a nice little 1, 2, 3 correction back down here. And there's a lot of confluence in this area. So buying in that range could be a very good opportunity before we get that next big push up, right? Then again, we're comparing NIO to Tesla. NIO is way cheaper than Tesla is right now. If you're looking for that potential market cap increase, right? If you're thinking, oh, NIO's kind of undervalued right now, they have potential to grow, this is probably like a solid time to be paying attention to these companies, because once these growth stocks start moving, it gets really intense, right? Fast pace, and it's volatile moves to the upside. So it's better to position yourself earlier than be late to the game and catch up. So that's what we got for NIO. And when we look at Tesla here, so I'm going to name off a few bullish catalysts that I believe are potential positive things that could increase Tesla's stock price. So we've already seen Tesla go to $2,500 a share, I'm pretty sure. And then we had the 5-way split. It's not a guarantee that that's going to happen again. Of course, that's kind of absurd to really just say that it's going to happen again. There has to be fundamental catalysts that push the price higher, and there's got to be amount of demand compared to supply, right? So when we look at some of the catalysts, we got police fleet expansion. Once the US decides, if they decide to make their entire police fleet full of Teslas, that's going to be insanely bullish for Tesla. We also have Elon Musk as the CEO. Like, this guy is a wizard with how he does his stuff. A lot of the times, then again, it could come as a fault, but Elon's like a hype guy. He knows what he's doing, and he's playing chess when it comes to this stuff. You best believe that he probably has plans to release certain news or release certain upcoming things that are happening in Tesla at specific times. And he's been known for doing stuff like this in the past. For example, the stock split news. That was a great time where all of a sudden we get a stock split. That's huge news. Everyone wants to rush in. That's what brought us up all the way to 2,500. And then, of course, he's very entrepreneurial. So adding Bitcoin on their balance sheet is like insane. It's just a whole other factor to take into play, that like they are also trying to make ways of making money aside from their own products. For all we know, they could be making Bitcoin mining equipment. So these are all bullish catalysts that we got to pay attention to, right? Like, that could definitely affect stock price. So we want to keep these things in mind. Right off the hop, what I see on Tesla, it looks pretty healthy to me. I see this and I'm like, wow, it held 500 to pretty much 550 range, and it looks pretty nice. I like this pattern we got here. Simple little triangle we got going on, right? So it's coming down this way. We might need a little bit more time, right? You could look at it from this way, that we're not broken out yet, or you could look at it from we've already broken out, where we've got the tops of these few moves here, right? It could be seen as this way, where we have broken out, and what we want to do now is come back, play around, back test this trend line, and then go for a bigger run. Something to pay attention to, because when we look at Tesla, it loves triangles, right? Like, it loves those triangles. If we look back, we'll go to the 4-hour time frame. It's done multiple types of triangles or wedges. We've got one here, and these are when you see this and it's a bullish stock like Tesla, just be prepared. It's not a guarantee it's going to go bullish, but in the past, it's done this before. We could expect that stocks want to repeat themselves, right? Right now, the bigger the triangle, the bigger the move. This is a massive triangle. We've been in it since the beginning of January, so half a year in this play, in this little pattern here. It could take a little bit more time, that's fine, but in terms of like overall stock health, we're holding up 550. We're pushing higher, even though we're not making higher highs, we're staying in this pattern. I'd be paying attention to this lower level here. If we do happen to break bear, it'll probably be an unreal time to gather shares of Tesla if it breaks down below 420. Tesla's weird with those weird numbers, 69. Like once it gets to like 669 or 420 range, that's a solid move. I'll never forget purchasing shares of Tesla at the bottom of March 2020, and the average price I had was 420 a share. That was back down here. So that being said, if Tesla's price comes back to 420 range, that's when you're going to want to be buying, in my opinion. If we take the time to look from right here, going back to 420, it's around a negative 37% move. So from its highs though, 420 is like 50% off. Tesla 50% off sale will definitely be a buy depending on the price action. But if we could figure out and build base up here, everything's looking great. I really like Tesla. I'm in solo. I don't think I'll ever sell my Tesla. So it's important to stay up on this stuff. So I think I'm going to be adding more Tesla NIO breakdowns because they're very similar companies, and it'll be cool to see which long term is going to perform better. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was the nice little NIO breakdown for this week. Maybe from here on in we'll add in the Tesla too, but pay attention. We got this nice triangle pattern coming out, right? Descending triangle. We got 550 as the base. We happen to have a potential breakout. I'm looking for the back testing go. So that's what we got for this week. Peace.